we will never, ever be apart.
You must be very cold. Here. Ouch.
Glad you didn't go into neurosurgery.
Not half as glad as his patients.
Are you ready to move? Over.
Speaking of patience,
Almost done here, so relax. All set.
2 and 3 in position. Waiting for you to go, number 1.
Remember, once it goes down, you're going to have to get to the fire door and let us in.
I know, Claude, I know. We've been over it a dozen times.
You nervous?
Not as bad as when I was in 6th grade. I had the lead in the school play. Joan of Arc.
You know, it's one thing signing on for the joint investigation, but going undercover?
No one twisted my arm, Joe. I volunteered.
Well, if you ask me, putting yourself on the line like this is not worth $2,500 a month.
No one's asking you. Come on, we're past that. We both know why I'm doing this.
You just be careful in there. Let's go.
Is that all?
For the moment, yes.
I'm not meeting demand. Not even close.
Then raise your price.
I'm already up to 1,000 a gram wholesale. But next time, I want more.
You'll take what I bring. You'll pay me now.
Who's coming? I should be inside in about a minute.
Yeah, right inside the lion's den. Let's go.
Well,
Okay. He's ready to see you now.
Thank you, Jimmy.
I'm Cynthia Hatch. Eric sent me.
How is Eric?
He told me you might want to do some business.
Well, I'm a businessman. What kind of business do you have in mind?
Distribution. I have a solid client base. And they're getting curious about the new product. I want to keep them happy.
That's noble, Cindy. It's real noble. What kind of money are we talking about here?
25,000.
How do I know the money's in here?
How do I know you have the product?
Why the rush?
Police, freeze! Where is he?
Not last night. You people all have a lot to be proud of. The suspect, one Tyler Buckman, is a major distributor. Both the commissioner and I feel that in conjunction with this new surveillance, he'll help send us all home on this one.
Well, on our end, Buckman took his lawyer's advice and accepted immunity. Miss Chandler conducted the first round of the interrogation this morning.
Well, anything interesting?
Beyond the fact that he's not too fond of me, Buckman was pretty cooperative. We now have this composite, which at least gives us some idea of what the supplier looked like.
General circulation?
I don't think so. We might scare this creep into permanent hiding.
I agree. And since my opinion is the only one that matters, I don't want this picture leaving this room. All right, what else you got?
Frankly, he wasn't able to tell us much. No names, no contacts, no numbers. Buckman was always reached by messenger on the night before. One thing did strike me, though. The supplier always insisted on being paid with gold coins.
Sounds like a major nut job.
Is there anything you'd care to add, Detective Marrero?
No, sir.
You know, Detective, if what we're trying to do here doesn't somehow hold your interest, please feel free to leave.
Excuse me. Hey, what just happened in there?
I really don't know, Chandler. But it seems to me everybody's too damn busy slapping each other on the back to admit that we screwed up.
Jimmy, what is eating you? Buckman gave us some very solid
Buckman,
information.
we could have busted at any time during the last 2 months. We were supposed to nail the supplier while he was there.
I know. That doesn't alter the fact that you just acted like a jerk in front of Captain Farrell.
I'm just real frustrated, Chandler. That's all.
Well, you're not the only one.
When you're right, you're right. You know, Chandler, you're okay. Her name is Carmen. She's my fiancée.
She's lovely.
She is, isn't she? She's the best collar I ever made. Hey, Dr. Zeke. Say hi to Chandler. Easy. She's with the DA.
It's the analysis that you asked for. It was as unadulterated a sample of the drug as we've seen. Definitely organic. Some sort of fungal hybrid or a psilocybin derivative.
I want to know why it glows in the dark.
It's bacterial. The kind that occurs in caves or ocean depths where there's no light.
Trust so few with our secret. All of them friends and helpers. Each of them knows the responsibility he bears.
I'm not accusing them or any of your people.
I know you're not.
But our lab has identified certain mineral properties of the plant that suggest it's being grown underground. And this supplier, he's like a shadow.
It grows over your city.
We've linked 49 deaths to this drug so far. And 3 times that many have been institutionalized.
You say you brought a sample of the plant?
Yes. Thank you.
Catherine, since that night when I found you in the park, I felt in you, time and again, a need to confront your fear. As you did last night.
Why are you telling me this?
I don't want what happened to you to cause you to take unnecessary risks.
Vincent, they needed my help.
You survived once.
And it's because I survived then that I'm doing this now. So that others are spared.
What else did Catherine tell you?
That this man, in exchange for the plant, will accept only gold. What is it, Father? Even if you only suspect, you must share what you know. This drug is powerful. It inspires violence. There is a moral imperative.
Yes, I am aware of the implications, Vincent.
Well, then why do you hesitate?
Because I hope I'm mistaken.
Who can this be, Father?
A man. No one you know. We banished him from this place before you were born. It was our first real test of government. His name was John Pater, but he called himself by another name. Paracelsus.
The alchemist?
Yes. John's model. Philosopher, scientist, magician. And John was All of those things. A large part of what we have created here we owe to him.
What happened?
What happened? I don't know. I think perhaps in trying to seek knowledge, he began to desire power.
And so, you exiled him.
He wouldn't go at first. Finally, he was forcibly taken beyond the perimeter.
And now? Do you know where he is now?
How does a hamburger and a beer grab you?
I don't think so.
Oh, come on. It's late.
No, I can't. I have to meet a friend in about an hour.
At 1 o'clock in the morning?
He's a night person.
Why is it I have a feeling you're not telling me the whole truth?
I don't know what you're talking about, Chandler.
I've never heard you say no to a hamburger. You're a lousy liar.
It's because I like you.
Well then, why don't you tell me what's going on?
Okay. I got a new lead. One of my blabs told me he knows something about a deal. It's a long shot, but it's all I got.
When is this supposed to happen?
Tonight?
You're not going alone. God, Jimmy. Call for some backup.
No.
Jimmy.
It took me 2.5 months to get inside that club. Me. Not Farrell, not you, not anybody else. And when it came down to the bust, Farrell wouldn't listen to me. He had to do it his way. And he blew it. And I'm not going to let that happen again.
How do you know you're not being set up?
You don't.
At least let me go with you.
No way, Chandler. You are not a cop. This is not your job. Look, I only told you this because I trust you. Do the same for me, okay? Hey, I'm not a rookie.
John?
How did you find me?
We've always known where you were. We have looked in on you from time to time.
Your compassion will kill you one day, Jacob.
It wasn't compassion. It was self-interest. Making sure you didn't try to return.
Oh, there's no need to worry. I'm quite happy here.
I'm glad.
So they call you father now. I heard it through the pipes. Ingenious idea, communicating on those pipes.
Yes, it was ingenious of you, John.
Father. I imagine you like that. It gives you all the authority you need without making you sound like a despot. But underneath everything, you're no different from me.
I am different. What was your little idea? A family of individuals living according to a higher standard. Oh, how uninspired, Jacob, how small-minded. We could have been gods, you and I. So why did you come? You know why I came. Your activities threaten to draw attention to our tunnels.
Ah, the first commandment. But they'll never catch me. I'm much too clever for them.
John, people are dying. I can't let it continue.
Am I wrong, or is this place beyond your influence? Isn't that why I'm here? In exile.
I was only asking.
Asking? Tell me, what right do you have to ask me anything? What power do you bring here? Will you tear me from my home again? Will you inform the police and risk my exposing your precious world? No. If you want me to stop, there is only one solution. This time, you'll have to kill me. Father.
Hold it right there. I'm a police officer. Keep your hands where I can see them. Let me see the bag. Let me see the bag.
I'm sorry, I don't hear so good. I'm lost.
What's in the bag?
The bag? Oh, my crystals. The family crystals. They're very old. I sell them so I can eat.
Beauty and the Beast will be continued.
What happened, Joe?
We're not sure exactly.
Well, tell me.
There's not much to tell. It looks like Jimmy was soloing a lead.
Where is he?
A transient found him, Kathy.
Don't tell me he's dead, Joe. A friend of mine was murdered.
The current of your feelings run deep. He must have meant a great deal to you.
I wish I'd had a chance to know him better. was a lot of hope in him. Idealism. He was engaged to be married.
I'm sorry. The man who grows and supplies the drug. You were right. He lives below. Father knows of him.
Well, then you must turn him in.
If we surrender him to the police, he has promised to betray our secret.
Well, then he must be punished to the full extent of your laws. I'll help. I'll document what he's done.
The ultimate punishment has been imposed. He was exiled from our world years ago. He no longer lives within our authority.
Well, he's still your responsibility.
We are struggling for a solution.
I can't wait. By waiting, I put other lives in danger.
Catherine, you must live according to your conscience. Just as we must live according to the laws that have allowed us to survive.
Except there is this to consider. Paracelsus could never expose us without exposing himself. If he doesn't get caught, we're safe.
I'm no gambler, especially not with those stakes.
Terrible dilemma. But I don't know what more we can do.
Father, the moment he is caught above, we are all in peril.
Exactly why we have no choice. Paracelsus told you himself the only way we can stop him is to kill him.
Would you be his executioner?
We could do it by lottery.
Even to consider such an alternative undermines the very principle on which this society was built. But please, we are here to discuss viable options.
Yeah, well, discussing the problem isn't going to make it disappear.
It does seem as though the more we talk, the more elusive a solution becomes. We all agree that what is at stake here is the greater good of both worlds. Some course of action, anything, is better than to allow all that we are, all that we have built, to be held hostage to one man's evil.
So what do you propose?
I can stop Paracelsus from leaving the tunnels with his poison. That will give us time to decide on a more permanent solution.
I hung around late last night where Jimmy died, wondering what he was after. You said he had a lead, right? I was thinking maybe the supplier has something in that abandoned building or beneath it.
What do you think, he lives down there?
I don't know what to think. All I know is that Jimmy was after something. Hey, 100 transients live in the steam tunnels underneath the Waldorf, so it's possible.
It's crazy.
We've seen crazier, all of us. I think we should sweep the place.
I don't know, maybe it'd be worth sending some of our people down there.
It would be a waste of time to go that far. I mean, even if he was somewhere in that building last night, do we really believe he stuck around?
You have a better idea?
No, Miss Chandler's right. Anyway, we're stretched too thin, but I tell you what, Claude, if you want, you and Dean can keep an eye on the place. Item 3. According to surveillance,
Is that you, Vincent? Vincent, it's me. Vincent? It's me, Vincent. Father. He's holed up here, in a forgotten place way below us. An old section of catacombs.
According to our tests, the effect of the drug should only last 3 or 4 hours.
Contacted Mary and Winslow. They're ready to convene.
I'm sorry, Father. The time for that is past.
Vincent, I do understand how you feel.
Can't understand how I feel.
We're all agreed. Harsh measures are required. But it is not your responsibility to decide what they may be.
It is mine. I have seen the demons Paracelsus has unleashed. Felt them inside of me. How can I explain? Become disconnected. As if the dark side of your imagination eclipses all compassion, all dignity. I must go.
You're still weak.
And there are 50 people already dead.
Paracelsus. Vincent, you know my name. I know more about you than your name. I don't wish to harm you, but you must leave this place. Leave? By whose judgment? Mine. What does Falstaff say? The better part of valor is discretion. I'm no match for you. Of course I will. I will do as you say. But wouldn't you like to hear me first? Or are you content to accept Father's story? Found as a babe outside St. Vincent's Hospital. Did you really believe that all these years? I know the truth. Aren't you at all curious to know why you are the way you are?
Jimmy wouldn't compromise.
Beyond the sadness, his life had great meaning. Catherine, I understand why you expose yourself to danger.
Because there are some risks worth taking. We'll never, ever be apart.
side ticket counter.
What's an Aussie do in Kenya?
Runs fado safaris. Hunts for a decent mug of beer in his spare time.
Purpose of visit, Mr. Sanders?
Tourism. Still looking for that mug of beer.
Good luck.
So the PD motions for a dismissal. We hear this loud voice from the bench, motion granted. No one's more startled than the judge, of course, because he hasn't heard a word.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Catherine Chandler, Jeff Radler. Jeff's going to be joining us.
Trial division. Oh, so I've been told. Welcome to New York. Never underestimate the power of the grapevine.
Joe tells me you're as good as they come. And you have an enormous crush on him you're desperately trying to keep secret.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't say that.
I finally managed to get it under control.
I think I'm being framed.
So, Joe tells me we're going to be working together.
Jeff's taking over the Erringer appeal.
Erringer, are you familiar with the case?
No, not yet.
Joe, what is this? That brief is due on Friday.
Which is why I want you to work with him on it. Go over the file, Kathy. Look, the subject's not open for debate. Just do it.
I brought the Erringer transcripts. Sorry if I got a little hot. This one means a lot to me.
Well, Joe told me he had to interview all the victims. Sit down. Tell me about it. I need to know.
Well, it broke my heart. All those little girls. The youngest one was only 4. It's hard to believe that anyone can be that vile until you have to sit with the children and listen to them tell their stories. When we put Erringer away, that was the moment that I knew I belonged here. And if his conviction is overturned, I don't know what I'll do.
It won't be. We'll make sure of it, you and me, together. But I can't do it without your help.
You got it. Anything you need.
I'll take these back to the hotel tonight and look them over. In the meantime, it would be really helpful if you could just give me a brief summary of the issues involved.
The first issue is the admissibility of the videotape testimony. They also claim that the judge erred in his instructions to the jury.
Holloway's notes on Erringer. Would you drop these off on your way home? Radler's Hotel's just a few blocks from you.
Just when I thought I'd made a clean getaway. Holloway's notes. They're incomplete, but they still might be useful. Just all this. Looks like you made off with half the law library.
Just going over a few possible precedents for the videotape issue.
There's an appellate case in the 19th Circuit that's right on point. You might want to have a look at that.
You must be mistaken. There is no 19th Circuit. These will prove very useful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tell me.
There's a new man in our office, a trial attorney named Jeff Radler. Does that mean anything to you? Well, I think he knows about your world. I followed him across the park, and he went to the drainage tunnel and straight to the secret door. And he uncovered a name there, your name. Someone had scratched it on the tunnel wall.
I'd almost forgotten. I'm the one that wrote that name there, Catherine. I was only a boy. It was the sort of thing that boys do.
He was looking for your name, Vincent. He ran to the tunnel all the way across the park from the carousel.
Carousel? This man, what did he look like?
He's in his 30s, I guess. Tall, dark hair, dark eyes. And he has 3 deep scars on his left cheek. Who is he, Vincent?
Not now. Not until I'm certain.
I'm sorry, I'm running late. I have to go see a man about an apartment.
How's it going?
Everything's under control. I'll see you tomorrow.
What's this?
You tell me.
The Erringer case. Which Jeff got one of the interns roughing out his brief?
No, that's his own work.
So his first draft's a little rough. He threw it in the trash, didn't he? Maybe that's where it should have stayed. Come on, Kathy, give him a break. He's probably just feeling pressure. 5 will get you 10, he's just nervous.
He's nervous, all right.
Hey, what's going on in there?
No one's called me that for 20 years. Oh, God. Vincent.
We thought you were dead.
Well, you know what Mark Twain said. The reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
We searched for you for weeks, months. Father was afraid you were lost in the maze.
I didn't want to hurt anyone. I just had to get out. "20 years is a long time. I wasn't even sure anybody'd be home. I'll tell you, there's been a few dark nights. I thought I imagined the whole thing. The tunnels and the old man. You. Especially you. So what are you doing here, anyway? It's like you knew I was gonna be here.
Catherine saw you last night at the carousel and followed you here.
Catherine? You mean Chandler from the DA's office? small world. So you have a helper in the DA's office.
Catherine is more than a helper.
Things change, I guess. So, the old man. Is he...
Mother is well. Let me take you to him.
I don't think that would be such a good idea. The old man and I never got along too well, you know that. After I left, I never set foot in New York again. I think I was scared he'd know if I did. Come drag me back down again.
Well, you're here now.
So I am. I've been having these dreams lately about the tunnels. Weird, isn't it? I've been to Casablanca, the Himalayas, Paris, all over the world, everywhere south of Oz and north of Shangri-La. And I dream about a hole in the ground.
It's not so weird. When that hole in the ground is home.
Ah, Vincent, there you are. Pascal said you had gone above, so we weren't expecting you.
Devin. You've changed. It's been so long. We thought, after all these years and never a word, never a hint as to whether you were alive or dead.
Well, you're not exactly listed in the phone book.
No, but you knew the names of our helpers. I mean, they could have got a letter to me. Would that have cost you so much? Have you any idea of the pain and the grief you have caused? Father. It was so sudden. Such a shock.
I'm sorry if I've upset you by not being dead.
Devin, please. There is so much I want to say. So many questions I'd like to. I just don't know where to begin.
How about it's nice to see you, Devin? Or we missed you. Those would have been nice places to begin.
We have missed you. You know that, don't you?
Yeah. I'm sorry. This isn't easy. Maybe we could just start over.
Yes. Yes, Devin, I'd like that. Well, now. Come on, tell us where you've been, what you've done.
Well, I'm currently an attorney with the DA's office, rubbing elbows, as it turns out, with Vincent's friend.
An attorney, eh? Well, that's a considerable achievement. But then, Devin, I always knew, even when you were a boy, that once you'd made up your mind to apply yourself, you would do great things. You must have studied very hard.
I'm working on that part.
Last month I was in Kenya. Derek Saunders, mate. Pleased to meet you. Ran photo safaris. It was fun. The land is gorgeous and you meet some interesting women. And before that, I was a monk in Tibet. Shaved my head, got in touch with my spiritual side. It was tranquil. Hell, I've been just about everything by now. Respected professor, a knife thrower in a carny, decorated soldier, a famous chef, a doctor. I delivered a baby, Father. There were complications. I had to perform a cesarean. I was terrified, but I didn't let it show.
Just a minute. I mean, the procedure you described is major surgery. Have you had any medical training?
I had some medical books.
Oh, you had some medical books. Well, that's fine, isn't it? You had some medical books. Do you realize the risks you put this poor woman through? Infection, internal hemorrhage. You were completely irresponsible. You're the oldest of the boys. The others all listen. Vincent looks up to you. Now, maybe you don't care what happens to you. But what about him? Supposing he's been hurt or caught out there. You risked his life. And for what? So that you could have a ride on a merry-go-round? You might have lost that woman, or the baby, or both.
But I didn't. Which is more than you can say, isn't it? You and all of your medical knowledge couldn't save my mother from dying in childbirth.
Devin.
You too? Fine. You care. I told you this was a mistake. I'll find my own way out.
No, Devin. No, please. Devin, come back here. Devin? Please?
That was his pain talking, not his heart.
I did not.
You did so!
I did not. It wasn't me.
Liar! What's so you? It's always you! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!
You startled me.
I thought you might come here.
I guess you would. My scars and my old clasp knife. That's all I took with me when I left this place. Gotta have something you can count on, right? The old man? Is he all right?
You and Father were always so hard on each other.
I'm well into my 30s, Vincent. I walked into that chamber and I was 14 again. Maybe it's because of my mother. Because he couldn't save her. Maybe that's why he's been so hard on me all these years. He sees me, and he remembers that failure.
won't come back?
Maybe in another 20 years. That baby I delivered, he's doing fine. Him and his mother both. They named him after me, Vincent. Harvey. That's the name I was going by at the time. So they named the baby Harvey.
Father will not speak of it, although I can sense how troubled he is. And Devin, with all the places he's been, with all the lives he's led, he still seems lost.
Father's right, you know. Your friend is irresponsible. This charade of his may end up putting a monster back on the street to molest little girls.
Devin would never allow that to happen. I know him.
You knew the boy he was many years ago. You don't know the man he's grown into.
I know his heart.
I'm sorry, Vincent. I can't allow this to go on. There's too much at stake.
We were going to build a raft together. Huck and Jim on the Mississippi. I had other friends, others who grew up with me in the tunnels, but Devin was the only one who was irresponsible enough to dream dreams that included me. Years after he left, I would still hear his voice in the whispering gallery. See his face reflected in the mirror pool, and when I would turn, he would be gone. If you expose him, Catherine, he'll be gone again.
I'm sorry, Vincent. But I have no choice. Good morning, Jeff. Or should I say Devin?
Doesn't matter. I answer to just about anything. Did Vincent tell you?
I'm not gonna have you arrested. I know what that would do to Vincent and to Father. But I want you off the Erringer case and out of this office.
I appreciate that. You give me the rest of the day to sort this out and figure out what I'm going to tell Moreno. I'll be out of your life by night.
I can live with that. Tell me one thing.
I'm charming, intelligent, and hardworking, so why? Is that what you want to know? I never figured out what I wanted to be when I grew up.
She will not expose him, but he has agreed to resign.
Yes, well, I suppose it's for the best.
The best? How can you say that?
Not easily, I assure you. Some relationships can only bring us pain, no matter how much we wish otherwise. You loved Devin as a brother, I know that. I loved him too. And yet he left both of us for over 20 years without so much as a goodbye.
And last night you made sure he would leave again.
You blame me?
I blame both of you.
How could you be so hard on him? If I was hard on him as a child, it was for his own good. His little escapades endangered not only himself, but all the other children. Especially you. I know what happened that night at the carousel. And I know why it happened.
You don't know anything about what happened that night. For as far back as I can remember, you were always harder on Devon than anyone else.
Vincent, please, I swear to you. I've always tried to be fair.
No one knows better than I how hard you tried. And how well you succeeded. You were a father not only to me, but to anyone who needed one. You were always there for more children than I can name, but not for Devon. Why, Father? How could you shut him out when he needed you so?
Oh, dear God, have I really? It was the year after I lost everything. My work, my good name, and the woman I loved. My home. I think I might have frozen to death that winter if it hadn't been for her. Grace. She told me about the tunnels, showed me the way down here. And slowly, I began to live again.
Grace was Devon's mother.
She was a good woman, no older than myself. Not an educated woman, but with her own wisdom and a kind heart. One night, she died, giving birth to him. And afterwards, I didn't want to set him apart from the others. Besides, I always intended to tell him later. I had you to consider as well.
Devon is your son.
Hold on.
May I come in? Running away again?
I prefer to think of it as a strategic retreat, one step ahead of the law.
No one's asking you to leave New York.
Why the sudden concern? You didn't seem to be all that worried this morning about my future.
Because I know how much you mean to Vincent, and how much it would hurt him to lose you again.
Vincent. Why does it always come down to Vincent and how I'm gonna hurt him?
Like at the carousel that night when you almost got him killed?
What the hell do you know about the carousel? Why don't you come with me? Maybe it's time you heard what really happened.
What are you doing?
Nothing I haven't done before. This all started with me wanting a knife. Father said no. Knives weren't toys. They were dangerous and someone might get hurt. So I scrounged for bottles. I saved my nickels. And I bought one anyway. Someone told Father. I thought Vincent had squealed. I found out later it was somebody else. A boy named Mitch. But by then it was too late. Father had already taken away my knife. And I tried to take it out on Vincent. We fought. I lost. Father was angry with me for fighting. So one night, a few days later, we came here. Me and Vincent and a few others. But it was my idea. I pushed them into it. And it worked like a charm.
Come on, David, hurry up. I want to get caught. Come on, David, hurry up. What's taking you so long?
Something went wrong.
Hey, what's going on in there?
Come on, run for it!
Hey, come back here! Come on!